I am Grady Cullen in the CapeCod.com News Center, joined today by a special guest from the Family Pantry of Cape Cod, Executive Director Christine Menard. Thank you for joining me. I want to talk a little bit about how food security is going this holiday season. We've come off of Thanksgiving already. Food is on the mind for a lot of people, but for some, it's a tough time, especially as we get into the winter on Cape Cod, where job security is also a little bit less prevalent in the off season. Do you mind giving us a quick overview of how things have been going in terms of busyness for the Family Pantry over the past couple of months and into the holidays?
Sure. So the pantry, um, starting in the beginning of October, that's when we really start to pick up for the winter season. Just for all the reasons you mentioned, people are getting laid off, their hours are reduced. So it's a time when families really struggle. The fortunate thing right now is we haven't had any really, really cold weather, so they're not facing really high fuel bills. So that's a blessing. Um, but to put it in perspective, in the summer, we serve about 650 families a week, and now we're going closer to 870, 875. So it's a pretty big jump, and that's typical for this time of the year. This year, it seems a little bit more dire because the inflation, they still feel the high prices in food. So we're seeing that. And then the other thing that we're really seeing is people are pretty desperate for clothing. Fortunately, our mission is to provide food and clothing, so that we do have clothing to offer, but it's really prohibitive for them to spend, 50 or $60 for a pair of jeans. So it's something that we've noticed that our boutique has really been incredibly busy this fall, and I don't think that's going to change very much over the next few weeks. So we're in for the long haul till we get to around the 1st of April when all the jobs start opening back up and people can go back to work. So it's not something we're not used to, but the volume is much higher than we're traditionally seeing.
Mhm. Now, recently there had been a push to outlaw like throwing away certain textiles, partly in an effort in Massachusetts to drive people to consider donation when they might not have before with fast fashion. Did that help out the boutique? Did you guys feel like that was something that was assisting the programs you guys offer? Did you notice an uptick in donations?
Yeah, well, what we noticed, unfortunately, was that people were not bringing us usable products. So things that they would typically discard that we could not use, they were bringing to the pantry. So we did ask everybody, to really be mindful about what they're bringing us to make sure that it's clean, it's gently worn, and to remember that we're passing this on to our families. So we did get an uptick, but most of that uptick was in products that we really were not able to put to good use. The nice thing is for us, though, we do have a textile feature where if we can't put something to use, then we do textile it. And, we send probably about 35 to 40,000 pounds a year of clothing that, is just not usable for us, but it keeps it out of the landfills, as you mentioned. So, I applaud the effort and I think it's a good thing. It's just we're not, we are not a recycling center. So you can't bring us your automotive rags and have us think we could do something with it.
My oil soaked over shirt that I use for
Yes,
my
that's,
oil change days. You're
yeah.
not gonna be able to not be able to
No.
work that out. Oh, darn.
And we get
Understandable.
quite a bit of that. So yeah.
Oh, that is unfortunate. What is is there a specific demographic of clothes that you're looking for lately? Is there like a big need
Men's,
for
women's, children. We always need children's. We always need men's. Men's, not for nothing, but you guys wear it till they falls off of you. So we tend to have it, right? We always need men's clothing. And then of course, children's clothing, so we have an abundance of women's clothes, but not always the children or the men. So we could really use that if anybody has it to spare.
Mhm. And once again, we're chatting about you. You guys offer a boutique. I know you guys are named the Family Pantry of Cape Cod, but yes, you guys also do clothes. So we like to emphasize that when you're on the program. With the also the, do you guys connect with other programs for people in need for some of these other things that you mentioned? Like I know we're going to be doing a story soon about LIHEAP, which is the state offering for heating assistance if people are having issues with that. Yeah, it has been warm lately, but we will probably see our first harsh cold snaps soon. Do you guys have like the lists available if people might not necessarily need food, but they do need stuff like that? Can you connect them?
Yes, we have a whole list of resources in 4 different languages. So when new people come to the pantry, they get registered, but they also get a package saying, here's the other resources that are available to you on the Cape. The Barnstable County also has a really good resource up on their website for the food insecurity. It names virtually every possible outlet on the Cape that people can tap into. But yeah, that's we're always considered a clearinghouse for that information. And then we help people with their when they're trying to apply for fuel assistance, which is what you just mentioned. They can come here and we can help them fill out the application. It's not very intuitive. So we have people that are trained that can help do that if that's a need.
All right, awesome. So actually, you just reminded me as well. So recently there was a very unfortunate fire that impacted the Brazilian Resource Center. Was that something that you guys have been keeping your eye on and noticed an uptick from that, or have been able to kind of offer any kind of services in that regard too? Any comments on that unfortunate tragedy? No one was
Yeah,
injured, but it's a
yeah, we
major
reached
impact.
out to those folks as soon as we heard about it, reminding them that I think most of those folks already knew about us, but we did call and remind them that, we're here if their families need something. Um, so, I think the outpouring from the community has been pretty strong, which is wonderful. But yeah, that's, as soon as something like that happens, we reach out to say, we're here if you need us.
That is great. Unfortunately, it impacts like over like 7,000 people, I think, on the
Yeah,
regular, let
yeah,
alone the tertiary connections that a lot of communities have. So that is good to hear that you guys are also plugged into that and offering some assistance.
yeah.
I wanted to ask about how like general things have been going for you guys in terms of staffing as well. I know you guys take some opportunities with like volunteers and things, but have you been able to kind of deal with the swell in more people looking for assistance these past few years, really, the
Yeah.
past few months especially.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky in the fact that we have a really solid core of volunteers. Um, what happens right now, we're in the middle of the transition where a lot of the snowbirds leave right after Christmas. So, we'll see a downturn there, but we have enough people in the mix that we can pretty much cover off what we need until we get additional people in the building. Um, we did just, our warehouse manager just announced his retirement, so we are looking for a new warehouse manager, but from a volunteer perspective, we're in pretty good shape for the most part. We're always looking for volunteers, though, we have 17 different jobs that people can do at the pantry or our thrift shop or at the Four Seas pantry or in our mobile operations. So, there's always a need for somebody. So I always encourage people if they're interested or just to find out more, they can go to our website. They can also apply to be a volunteer online at thefamilypantry.com. And then we have a volunteer coordinator who will reach out to them to find out what they're interested in and when and how. And it's we can accommodate snowbirds. Most people volunteer once a week. But let's say you only want to do it once a month, we can accommodate that. So if you're interested, and you should give us a call and we can take it from there.
Right on. So, like if I have trouble like heavy lifting or something like that, that's something that you might be able to factor in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have lots of different jobs that don't require lifting. If you're a computer whiz, we've got that. If you're a warehouse guy, we got that. If you're into clothes, we've got that. So pretty much everything, we've got something that somebody could do.
All right, awesome. And for those who are interested, who are listening now, we will have a link for up on capecod.com in the description for this conversation up on up there as well for people who just want to be able to be taken there directly. While I have you as well, so we're talking obviously with the idea of December and the holiday season. But what's the harder months for you? Is it going to be more like January, February, and like that general time? Like what's the harsher times for the Family Pantry of Cape Cod?
Right now, actually, because people
Oh,
are
okay.
trying,
Good.
they're trying to figure out how to afford a holiday for their family. So,
Before the snowbirds are gone, so it is a bit easier to deal with.
right. So, normally they're worrying about food and housing, and now they add in the additional burden of, the holidays. So lots of times we see more people now because they're trying to figure out how to buy gifts for their kids. So they'll use us to buy the food, which is fine. That's no problem whatsoever. But December is always a real tough month. And then to your point, January, February will be very strong because if you got a few hours going into the holidays, and then you get laid off after the holidays, then, we're in crunch time again. So from now, like I said, literally until about the 1st of April, we'll just be going full bore.
hmm All right. Well, good luck to you guys. Hopefully, you can find some volunteers and a new warehouse manager as well. Is that a paid position or is that
Yep,
also volunteer?
warehouse manager's paid full-time year-round with benefits. So
So anybody
anybody's
who
got
might be
some,
listening
yeah, if
who is
somebody's
interested,
listening, you should give us a call because we're looking for a warehouse manager.
good to
Um,
know.
but yeah, so no, the pantry's in good shape. It's just getting through the winter, just like always, and we're proud to be able to be here, and it's really nice to be able to serve people when they're in a little bit of a bind.
Mhm.
So we encourage anybody that's struggling or worried or whatever to please come find us. It's a very easy process to sign up. All you have to do is provide an ID for yourself and for anybody that's going to be on your account, and bring something with your current address on it, and then our volunteers will register you from there. And the day that you register, you can also pick up food and clothing. So it's very, very simple. um, and we have people that do this all day every day, so please don't be hesitant to come in if you're struggling with food on Cape Cod.
Mhm. Now, for a lot of people who might be just like just popping into the community one way or another, what can the ID be? Does it have to be state issued driver's
No,
license or what
no,
can?
no, it doesn't. Matter of fact, it can be anything. It does not have to be a picture ID. It could be a school record. It could be a letter from your priest. It could be your library card. As long as you have something that shows that you exist, and then you have to have something that has your current address on it. So, no, that's probably the easiest thing that we ask of you is you've got to have something to show who you are, and then we can take it from there.
Mhm. All right, awesome. With the holiday season, once again, good luck to you guys. Are there any other kind of like events or offerings that you might want to highlight while we're still here having the conversation before we wrap up? We're about coming up on time, but anything else that's going to be upcoming that you want to put on the calendar for us?
Yeah, I want to just thank, there's been a ton of it. We do a holiday annual toy day. This year it's on this coming Sunday, which is December 15th. And we're going to serve about 400 kids. So that's one of our favorite days of the year. And just really thank all the people that contributed this year. Toys for Tots are always wonderful. The Harwich and the Brewster Homeless for the Holidays donated to us, they've done that for years, which is wonderful. So we're looking forward to this weekend when we get to hand out all the goodies to the kids. So it's going to be a good day.
That's awesome. And now I swear I'm being facetious, but with all the offerings that you guys between clothes as well as like these toy events, have you considered maybe that the food pantry name has is almost a misnomer at this point?
No. No, because the food is the toys really aren't mission, but we try to do a little bit
It's a
extra,
benefit.
and clothing. We do clothing because we figured out very quickly that if you can't afford your food, you probably can't afford your clothing.
Mhm.
So one drives the other basically. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to be changing the name anytime soon, but thanks, Brady.
No, I understand, especially with the I mean, you can live with some rough clothes, but you can't live without food.
Exactly right.
So I
So we'll
definitely
we'll
understand
stick
the
to our knitting on this one, I think.
Well, thank you very much for all you do, Christine. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Good luck with the holiday season. And once again, we'll have several links in the description for people who are interested in learning more about what you guys do and for some of the other opportunities involving with volunteering. So thank you again, Christine.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to get this all sorted. But yeah, for those who are interested, once again, check out the descriptions below. I'm Grady Collane, the CapeCod.com News Center.